Good morning, world. UK time, 4:30. What are you saying, people? Yeah, you don't usually see me doing these early streams. Just got back from the gym, equal chest workout. Watched the BBK stream. Big up to my boy Taron and all them things there. But yeah, we're gonna do a quick match reaction. Well, I say quick, but it might take long. It might not. But first and foremost, smash up the likes. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I don't know what kind of people are watching at this time of the morning, but keep it nice or pay the price, so to speak. But anyway, let's get into it. I just want to go into subscribe mode quickly, so we get people subscribing and all of that stuff. Already waffling already, and it's like 2 minutes into the show. I'm already waffling. But anyway, let's get into the game. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. Did a watch along yesterday, watched the game. For some reason, I was kind of calm yesterday, watching this game. I didn't feel that we got our second gig yesterday. I felt that I was confident that we were going to win this game, no matter how we played. I'm kind of like getting to the point now where I'm going to probably say this every week, especially with the match reactions, that my lips are dry. Sorry, man, I'm just eating porridge. That as long as we're winning games, the performance to me, it matters, but the end result is key for me. So I'm not really gonna cry if the performance is bad but we win. And when I mean bad, I mean that, we're not passing the ball right, the chances, knocking them over the bloody bar and stuff like that. That's, we're just not looking great on the ball. But I think what people need to realize as well, and I will make the excuses, international break, players, are coming off, playing quite, maybe 2 games during the international break. It's never usually that exciting, especially for Arsenal. You can argue Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, but no one won that game at the end of the game. And if your team's conceding three goals, that means you've not played well defensively. Yeah, you scored goals, but it doesn't mean that you played well. Arsenal, another clean sheet. We played 8 games and we've only conceded 3 goals in 8 games. That's an amazing record so far this season. I'm going to do a show as well. How many goals can Arsenal concede this season? And I'll give you my number very soon, not my telephone number. But I'm on another show. I hope guys can hear me, because I've got to talk low because it's early in the morning. Family sleeping and I don't want to sound too loud and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys can hear me. So let's talk about the game briefly. So we started with the lineup that me and Kate predicted throughout the week. Back 5 as it is: Timber, Elafori, the wing backs. Oh, sorry, the full backs. Midfield of Eze, Rice, and Zubimendi. And up top we had Perez, Saka, and Trossard starting. Now, it's always a toss-up between Trossard and Martinelli, isn't it? They're both backup wingers, so it is always going to be one or the other, isn't it? Obviously, Odegaard's injured, so Eze starts at 10. And yeah, we started the game. I don't think we started the game particularly well, to be honest. I thought from the off, Fulham were on it. Fulham was on it. You know, I thought Fulham tried to attack down the wings. A couple of times they got through. Weren't great with their shots. I think they had a total of 9 shots in the game, none on target. We had a total of 16 shots. Can't remember how many were on target. I think 2 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But that first half wasn't really good. We tried to get the ball, you know, into the flanks. Weren't really much excitement, you know, weren't really much from Trossard's end. You know, I know Trossard tried to put the ball in a few times, but there's a few crosses that just were wayward. Saka was, you know, doing a lot on the right hand side. But we came across that problem again that we've had in games like Man City, and West Ham as well in particular, where we're trying to cross to Gyökeres, but he's not winning no headers. So what's the point? I thought Fulham actually defended quite well in the first half. Gyökeres had a couple of chances. One where, you know, he kind of got into space, which was really good play. I think it was a ball from Saka, I believe. Can't remember it was. And he shot, and the keeper saved it. Good shot. He expected the keeper to save it. This is what I can remember from the game. I might have missed some things, so forgive me if I have. Good shot again from Declan Rice, but wide. But I just felt that during the first half, I felt that Fulham weren't going to score. I felt that the team just looked solid defensively. So I wasn't worried. Usually, I get quite nervy during games. I can hear some domestics going on outside. What's going on? People shouting and that. What's going on? But anyway, forget about them. Yeah, the first half was, I didn't really kind of like felt that we were really on it yesterday, especially in the first half. Second half was a bit better. We came out a bit more. We tried to attack a bit more. Do you know what? My head is so baffled now. I can't remember which way we were shooting in the first half. I can't even remember. That's how much I actually remember this game. It's not a game that I'm particularly gonna remember or care about. The only thing I care about is the 3 points in this game. Yes, I suppose we can look at the 2 players I've mentioned in previous videos on the player focused, Eze and Gyökeres. I felt they didn't have their greatest games, but I also understand that these men have been on international duty as well. You would think Eze would be more confident of the both of the 2, considering Gyökeres hasn't scored in a few games. But I just felt that this was a game where Silva said to his men, listen, just make sure Eze, when he's on the ball, just put him off, just stick with him. I felt this was a game where Eze was disciplined. He had to stay in the cam position. He also played quite defensively as well. I remember I mentioned about Eze can defend as well. And I was like, told no, he can't defend. Eze can do that job as well, you know. He's a very intelligent player. It's not what you want to see, but his role in Arsenal is different to the role in Palace. And I think we need to start accepting this. I know everyone wants to see freelance, you know what I mean, Eze doing his thing, but it's not happening. It's not going to happen. Not in this, not in the system, the way we play for now. You probably see this against teams that are really poor, you know, just having a really off game. But I felt Fulham were quite good. I felt they tried to pack out the midfield. They just tried to like force us to make errors where it should be the other way around. They forced us to make errors with our passing. They broke up our play when we tried to put a pattern together with passing. And if you want to disrupt Arsenal, you hit them, that's where you hit them, in their passing. Yeah, we had 63% possession, but I don't think we won too much of it, to be honest. It was never going to be a game where I felt that it was going to be a pretty game. It was going to be one of those games where, you know what, Fulham are just going to make it just uncomfortable for us. Why should every game we go into be easy? But anyway, on to the goal. Saka said in one of his, I think his interview or something like that, you know, he put in a few rubbish crosses. That's what he said. Some of my crosses were put in some rubbish crosses. And then he put in the fourth cross, or the fourth corner, sorry. And, you know, he's put it in. Gabriel's kind of flicked off his head. And, yeah, the rest is history. Trossard's put it in the back of the net. Set piece again. Ole, ole. I'll take that. The question is are set pieces sustainable? It is if you keep scoring them. And you add them to your open play goals. Of course it is. Just relying on them though, on their own though, is a very dangerous game. I don't think we wanted to rely on a set piece to win the game. It just came about that we scored from a set piece. I think people get the two mixed up sometimes. You know, I don't think we wanted to win that game via a set piece, but we scored via a set piece. You get corners, you take your corners. You get free kicks, you take your free kicks. Have you noticed that? I don't know if you have noticed, Arsenal rarely get free kicks in the central area of the box. So we've not seen a Declan Rice free kick like on, you know what I mean, direct free kick, or we haven't seen a direct free kick in ages, I think. We never get free kicks in that area. It's always to the left or to the right. We hardly get any free kicks in the centre. That goes to show that we don't do a lot. We don't go through the centre a lot, which we need to start doing more of that. But this is Arteta's system, innit? Everything to the left and everything to the right. People say we're missing Odegaard. I don't particularly believe that. Odegaard had a few good games. Maybe 15, 20 minutes against West Ham, good game against Olympiacos. Really particularly been pivotal in this side this season, so I don't believe all of that. I believe he brings certain things to the team, you know, in terms of his ethic, his work ethic. Yeah, some of the passing that he does is very well, but we need someone that's going to be direct, someone that could be direct and also score goals and be creative at the same time as well. That's what I thought Eze would be, but struggled, against Fulham, which you're going to have these games. These games are going to be inevitable. Onto the penalty, the Saka penalty. Looking at the penalty, I thought it was a penalty straight away. And then the replay almost tries to convince you that it's not a penalty. It's crazy, like the way football is these days. But Stepsy was telling me, "Oh, it's not a penalty. It's not. It's on the line." Shut up. The guy got flipping brought down in the box. I don't believe some people's vision of the game sometimes. The man's telling me, "Oh, it's on the line." So if it's on the line, it's a penalty, even if it's on the line. What are you talking about? So I thought it was a penalty when I looked at it first, but then the doubt starts to kick in. What was it? After a while now, you're seeing the replay now, and it looks like Saka's kind of shielded himself, yeah. But I think sometimes, and someone who's played football, I think sometimes, that we look for it as well. I think Saka also looked for that penalty as well. The way he's put his body in the way, I thought he was a bit too much, just like the Gyökeres. When Gyökeres went down in stages, I felt he was looking for the contact too much. Yes, he did get contact, but it was minimal. And I think we need to be smarter. In the way we win penalties and in situations, because you can win a penalty there, but be smart about it. That's all I'm saying. Be a bit more smarter, because the replay looks, that you've gone into the challenge, and the way your body's like moving, like you're doing the worm or something. I just felt, I felt that after watching the replay again and again, it almost convinced me that although I thought it was a penalty, I felt that Saka went down too easy. Now, people might disagree with me. That's fine. But if we had lost the game, I'll probably be singing a different tune. But it is what it is. This is quite a long match reaction, isn't it? Usually should be about 10-15 minutes. As for the defence, brilliant display again. Didn't really have to do much, but 0 goals conceded. Trossard scores. Got to give Trossard his flowers. I don't particularly like seeing him start. Trossard's one of them players is that he does things on the pitch that we don't appreciate enough. And I'm one of his biggest critics, by the way. He works hard. I don't think he does enough in the box, to be honest, at times. But he's also playing with a striker that is positional sense, and BBK mentioned this as well earlier in his show, big up to BBK Sports, that Gyökeres' movement in the box is not the greatest, and we're seeing that now. We're seeing that Gyökeres' movement in the box isn't great, which for me is a slight concern, seeing as we're 8 games in and he's kind of like played every single game. He should be kind of like getting used to the way we play right now. I did a show where I'm expecting Gyökeres to actually bag over the next 2-3 games. I don't think that's a bad ask for me. But yeah, big up to Trossard as well, because he got the winning goal and he was in the right place at the right time. And big up to Ong Zin Bo. Yeah, we are top of the league. We are top of the league. We should got 2 penalties. Judge about this. Yes and no. I've already spoken on the 2 penalties already. Yeah, there was contact for the Gyökeres one, but he went down after the challenge. The Saka one could have been given. It could have been given straight away. But as I said, once the replay, it's almost like they want to convince you that it's not a penalty. And then all of a sudden you're looking at the way the player's going down and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to have these decisions go against us throughout the season. You know, as long as, and I've always maintained this, as long as we put the ball in the net by the right means, then we will win the game. Yes, we should have had the penalty, but we still won the game, and that's all that matters. Let's see what other points I've got to make. And the last point is no injuries. 3 points, no injuries, no goals conceded. What more can we ask for? On to the next one. Atletico during the week. I think it's on the 22nd, I believe. That's on the Wednesday. I believe so. That's going to be a very big game as well. And yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Very good win. And make sure you slap the likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you hype the video as well, people. That's what we need you to do. Hype the video. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Big up to you, people. And have a great day. Peace.